So hello everyone. Good morning. I think most of you will be in the US. Good afternoon if if anyone is in Europe. My name is Camille Toublanc-Brewster. I work in the International Programs Office at Richmond American University, London. I've been working there for almost 7 years now. And I am the academic advisor for some of our American students, also French and Spanish speaking students who come to us for a semester or a year. And specifically in this case, I will be the SMU Spring Entry Program advisor. So for any of you today who do decide to join us at Richmond in fall, I will be your advisor during your time at Richmond, but I'm also available from now on if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to email me, and I'm also always happy to jump on a video conference call if it is easier. So just a little bit about Richmond American University, London. So Richmond is an American and UK university based in London. We are a liberal arts university that was founded in 1972. So we've been in existence for 53 years now. Richmond is a university that has approximately 1,200 students every year. So we are quite small, especially in comparison to SMU, for example. So the experience you'll have at Richmond will be a very community feeling experience. You know, we're a tight-knit community. The professors and staff all know the students. We cross paths all the time in the corridors of the university, and everyone is really friendly and really available if students want to chat with us or about anything. If they need something, then of course we're happy to help. But also if you just want to grab a coffee or have a chat with us, we're always happy to do that. So Richmond is the first university in the UK that awards students both a UK and a US degree. So this is really the specialty, and what makes Richmond unique is that we are dually accredited. We're accredited by the UK government, and in the US, we are accredited by Middle States. So this means that in the classroom, students will experience a bit of a mix of both worlds, let's say. A little bit of the educational UK educational system and also the US liberal arts system. So for example, on the US side, we follow the American academic calendar. We have small class sizes, as a lot of liberal arts universities in the US have. So the average number of students per class is 17. Just making sure everyone can get in at the same time. Okay. Sorry, just need to go back to my screen. Yeah, so on your transcript, you'll have a US transcript. We use US credits. So it's very similar to what you will experience when you then transfer to SMU. So you'll have a personal academic advisor. So that's what I was mentioning a bit earlier. In this case, that would be me. So I will help you pretty much with everything. So if you have any questions about visa requirements, questions about London, questions about housing, any of this, I am happy to help you with. But I'll also be your academic advisor. So when you will be choosing your courses, I'll help you throughout that process, explain how it works, tell you about the different courses on offer, and kind of help you choose what works best for you in terms of classes. Um, Richmond has a very diverse international student body. We have always been a very international university because of our UK and US backgrounds. I would say we have about 1/3 of our students in general, so what we call study abroad students, like SMU students, but also degree students who come for their full bachelor's or master's degree with us. So among this student population, we have about 1/3 of the students coming from the US, 1/3 from the UK and Europe, and the last third would be from the rest of the world, so Latin America, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, etc. So this makes a really interesting experience in the classroom because you really learn about different cultures, and you end up making friends from all over the world, which is always something that stands out when we ask students about their experience at the end of the semester. This is really something that stands out and that they're really happy about. You may have noticed that myself, I'm also French origin from the accent, and you'll see that the staff and professors at Richmond are also of various nationalities. So we do offer internships as a university. This does not really apply to SMU students, so I won't expand on that. We have high contact hours compared to normal UK universities. So students will have about 15 hours of class per week, every week. And in addition to the in the classroom time, of course, you'll have group assignments, essays, tutorial hours with your professors. So this is also something to keep in mind. In terms of accommodation, we do not have accommodation on campus, but we partner with a housing provider. So it's a student housing facility. And what we do is we book everything in advance for students, so you don't have anything to worry about, really. You'll just then pay directly the student housing provider, but we'll facilitate that for students. I'll expand a bit on that and show you some pictures of the accommodation later on in the presentation. So this is just so you get an idea of the undergraduate programs we offer. As an SMU student, you will have courses pre-approved by SMU. So this will be sent to you all if you've applied probably in about 3 to 4 weeks. And a lot of these courses will be part of one of these programs. So it just shows the diversity of courses that you can take with us at Richmond. So the Richmond difference, so what it means to you, yeah, this is just one of some of the things that make the university unique again. So as I was saying, because we're a fairly small university, we really focus on student services and students' well-being throughout their experience. This is really what we care about. So we have a huge student affairs team. They've numerous times received awards by Times Higher Education and Independent Higher Education about the service they provide to students. We also have a big network of alumni of about 15,000 alumni from 140 countries from across the globe. And after you experience your semester at Richmond, you do become a part of this alumni network, even if you've only been with us for a semester. You're welcome to join our network and, to maybe get opportunities in the future with other alumni who, professional opportunities or anything else that might work for you. So in terms of our campus, we are based in, not sure if some of you are familiar with London, but the place is called Chiswick Park. This is, so Chiswick is the neighborhood, and Chiswick Park is the park where the university is located. This is a really friendly, calm neighborhoods in West London. So it is not in central London, but it is very easy on the tube to get to what we would say central London. So it probably takes about 15 minutes, and the tube or the buses take you right in front of the university building. So we really have beautiful facilities that have been designed for students, because we moved there 2 years ago now. And before moving there, it was the Disney studios. So we really redid everything inside, refurbished everything. And we also worked with our students and asked them, what would you like to see in the new campus? What is it that we could do better? What are we missing? So hopefully, everything is made to accommodate students in the best way possible. So as I was saying, so we don't own all of the Chiswick Business Park. We have one of these buildings, which you can see on this picture. And in the park, you also have some leading companies such as Warner Brothers Studios. You have the headquarters of Starbucks, of Pokemon, a lot of TV channels, CBS, and things like that. So I think in total there are 12 buildings, so it's not huge. But it's actually quite nice for students to, be kind of in the professional, close to the professional world while they are studying. Okay, so these are just a few more pictures of what the park looks like. What's nice is that the park itself organizes a lot of events throughout the week. So you'll have food trucks almost every day, and especially on Thursdays. So every lunchtime, students can eat from food trucks from all over the world, and it changes every week. They organize a lot of sports. So there's volleyball, ping pong, football, and other things like that are organized. A lot of different events that students can join and join for free, of course. So in terms of our managed student accommodation, we are partnering with a place called the Stay Club in North Acton. So this is 25 minutes from campus via overground train. So it's a direct train from the campus to the accommodation. The tube itself, I think the journey takes like 15 minutes, and then you have about 5 to 10-minute walk from the station to get to the accommodation. So what they offer are single ensuite studio apartments with full kitchen facilities. And so the full kitchen facilities, I think a lot of students actually, from what we've heard, tend to keep their room, for the room, and then use the shared kitchen facilities to cook. But yeah, you can do both. You have both options. I think there's a picture of the shared kitchen facilities and TV room after this slide, so you'll see in a minute. There is also an optional meal plan, so it's £24 per day per person. And this is available from the Sunday dinner to Friday breakfast. They've noticed that usually during the weekend, students are going out and, enjoying food outside or cooking for themselves with friends. So the accommodation is not owned by Richmond University, but we do have Richmond student staff living on site on all of the floors where we have Richmond students. So we call them resident advisors or resident directors, and they are here to help students in case there's an emergency. They're also here to, on the first day, maybe help students navigate to the university, or they organize like different events and things throughout the semester. And then if there's anything important and the university needs to hear about it, then they would liaise with us and let us know. So even if it's not on the Richmond campus, you really you have the help of Richmond staff where you live. So it includes cleaning, I think, once per week. So someone will come in and clean your room. It also includes all the kitchen utensils, towels, bedding. All of that is included, so you don't need to bring anything with you from the US. It also includes what we call the council tax in the UK, which is something, it's quite expensive and we need to pay it every month here. So in the final price, the council tax is included. Of course, internet, electricity, everything. So you won't have to pay anything more than the £432 per week. That's for a 16-week contract. So from the 30th of August 2025 to the 20th of December 2025. So these are just a few more pictures of the place. So you have so on the first picture on the left, you can see this is the kitchen, shared kitchen facility. So we don't see the actual like ovens and all that, but this is where they're located. And then you have like some seating. And if in the back, there's a TV, books, sofas. So it's actually really nice. I've visited it a few times and it's very lovely. There's a rooftop terrace. There is a gym. There's a cinema. So it's a lovely place for students. In terms of the events, activities, and class excursions, so Richmond organizes weekend trips during the semester across the UK mostly, but also some trips in Europe, some weekends. So, for example, you get the opportunity to go to Oxford and Cambridge, Bath, Stonehenge, Brighton, Windsor Castle. This semester, we organize a trip to Istanbul in Turkey. So that's aside from classes, and that's totally up to the students if they want to participate or not. And then we also have class excursions. So depending on the classes that you will choose, you will get the opportunity to go around London, visit some art galleries and museums, maybe go to some shows on the West End. So depending on the classes that you select. And then during orientation week, which is, well, you have the same thing in the US, so you probably know what it is already, but before you start classes, we have a whole week of events, social events for students so that they can get to know each other, but we also have like campus tours, presentations from staff and faculty so that students can settle in London and in the university without having to start classes from day one. So some of the activities that are included in orientation are a London boat cruise, an East End walking tour, the tour of Greenwich, Emirates Fly Wire. I think there was a tour of Arsenal Stadium. It kind of varies every year, so you'll know closer to the date, like in around June, July, you'll start finding out about the activities organized for this September. But yeah, you'll have Sunset at the Shards, and as I was saying, yeah, some West End shows, Globe Theatre. and these type of activities. We also have some student clubs and societies. Any students are welcome to join, even if you're here for a semester, and it will go by very quickly, believe me. You're welcome to join any of these clubs, film club, economics, you have a football club, British Bake Off, if you're into baking, book club, green projects, Korean Culture Society. They also organize a lot of events for everyone, even if you're not part of this club throughout the semester. So you'll get the opportunity to try Korean cuisine and things like that. So now in terms of academics, so this is a picture of our library on the right. So as an SMU student, you will choose 4 courses in total per semester, so for the fall semester. Because each course at Richmond University is worth 4 US credits in total. So that will be 16 US credits to transfer back to SMU. So as I was saying, once you go through your application process, accept your offer of studies, you also need to pay your deposit. Then you'll receive information about classes, how to register online for your classes, and you'll receive your course schedule before your arrival to London. So you don't have to worry about doing any of this on arrival, because if everything goes well and you're on time with everything, then you will have all the information ahead of time. This is the fall 2025 calendar. So as I was saying, between the 1st and the 5th of September, it is our orientation week. So you'll arrive in London. The first day is usually move-in day. So I forgot to mention that we have airport pickups. So if you arrive at Heathrow Airport, we provide a free airport pickup service that takes students to their accommodation if you choose our recommended provider. And then 8th to the 12th of September is the first day of classes and add-drop week. So this means that during that week, you go to your classes. If there is something that you don't like or is not what you expected, or maybe you think it's a bit too difficult or too easy, you can still change your schedule. So you would have to do this with me, again, as your academic advisor. But yeah, so don't stress out too much about your schedule before arrival, because if you do end up having to change a class, it is definitely possible during add-drop week. A lot of students end up doing it. There's going to be also what we call a tutorial week, which is basically a midterm break. And finally, the 12th of December is the last day of classes. Sorry. And between the 15th and 19th of December are your final exams. So some of you may have started your application. I know we've received some applications. I don't know if you're on the call today, but for those who haven't, the application is done completely online through our website. So you need to register. So there's a screenshot on the right that shows you the page you would get onto. So the first time you go to this page, you'll have to register, and then you just log in with your email address and the password that you've chosen. So you can start your application, and if you don't finish it straight away, I'm sorry, that's totally fine. You can just log in later on and finish the application, and you'll still have everything saved. So you won't have to start everything over. So on your online application, we kind of ask for basic information about you, and your high school and these kind of things. And you will have to upload 2 documents, a copy of your passports and a photo ID that we will use for your student ID. The rest of the documents that we need will be sent to us directly from SMU on May the 2nd. So don't worry about submitting anything else because we will get all the rest from SMU. So your updated transcript, high school diploma, and cover letter, all of that we get from SMU. So once all this is done and we've received the documents from SMU, you'll be sent an unconditional offer of studies, and you will have to pay your admission confirmation deposit. Once you've paid that, the registration for classes online begins. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You have a few different steps, but hopefully it's not too complicated. In terms of the tuition fees, they are £9,450 per semester. We do have a scholarship that we're introducing this year called the Liberal Arts Award for students who have a 3.7 or more GPA, and the amount would be £500 for the semester. Okay, well, I think that's it for me today.